Ladies and gents and the rest, today I'm going to show you 5 new units with all 3 talents. Let's go! Drake. Talent number 1, Mother Drake. Periodically summon a whelp egg. This is what it looks like. When you deploy it, 7 seconds later, it spawns the first egg, and then every 7 seconds it spawns one more egg. This egg is talentless, doesn't have anything, it's just, it functions as a normal egg. When you break it, the whelp pops up, and that is how it works. Talent number 2, Engulfing Flames. Damaging enemies burns them. So what it does is, it does exactly what it says. It applies burning. Burning lasts 8 seconds. You cannot stack it. And as you can see, if this Drake didn't have burning, the Gargoyle would have killed the core. The good thing about this talent is that, actually I'm gonna talk about it when we get to what to pick. Talent number 3, Roost. Perch on top of a nearby tower, staying there to defend it. Now, there's a couple of things you need to know about this talent. As you can see, the Drake, when it passes by your tower, it stops there, and it's gonna stay here until it dies. Also, here's what else you need to know. I'm summoning the second Drake right by the tower, so it guards it too. And it's just flying away. That is how this talent works. So each tower can only have one Drake guarding the tower. That's it. So what do we take? Number 1 is Mother Drake, 100%. Don't even think about it, because it spawns eggs. Your Drake literally shits with value every 7 seconds. So yeah, you get extra units for free. Mother Drake is number 1, 100%. Second talent, I would take Burning. In certain situations, thing is that with Burning, I thought I would come back to that when I was demonstrating the talent. So the Drake's attack, it's like a lot of little attacks if you look at the animation of the Drake. So even if you attack for like 0.0001 second, if you just do 1 damage with your attack, it applies burning, which is a lot of damage. Burning is 240 damage in 8 seconds on level 1, and the damage is increased by 10% each level, so you can count how much damage it's going to do. Like I said, you only have to attack, you have to do 1 damage with the Drake, and you apply burning. In some situations, you will need that, but again, it's very rarely used. And this third talent, Roost, I have never seen it used. It's absolutely bad. Your Drake is gonna get killed anyway. Like when somebody gets to a tower, your Drake will give you 0 value. It's just the talent is bad. So this is number 3, just to get level, like I said, right? Huntress. Talent number 1, Elvin Might. Deal 50% additional damage to the initial target. That means that the bouncers are still the same, still do the same damage, but this initial target gets 50% more damage. What I'm showing you is just a use case for this talent. This particular encounter can be cleared with literally 1 Huntress. That's how strong she is. And if you add this talent, you're gonna do way more damage. That is pretty much it. There is no hidden mechanics or something you need to see or know. Next talent is Darnassian Steel. Glaive bounces an additional 3 times. It does exactly what it says. Look how many targets she's attacking. Boom, boom, boom. Very good against big groups of enemies. Next talent is Shadowmeld. Gain stealth and ambush. Now this talent is very interesting. Obviously we have to compare it with the other talent. And look what it looks like. Initially, this is the 50% additional damage to the main target, and this is the one that we are demonstrating right now. So initially, both of these Huntresses are injured, and their enemy's Huntress dies in both cases. However, I thought like there is no way to show a better value of this talent. Like it's just, you know, this you attack, your first attack is harder than the opponent's, or hard in general, and that's pretty much all I wanted to show. But let's just keep going with this footage. Now, here we see the Plague Farmer, and watch what happens now. Huntress with stealth. After the combat ends, Huntress goes back to stealth, and the other Huntresses will not, the ones with the other talent. That's how value. This is a huge value that you're gonna get if you use this talent. You already know what that top choice is going to be, right? So what do we take? Number one, first of all, this unit is amazing without any talents. Super strong, a lot of value. Number one choice is for everybody is Shadowmeld. I used other talents, but again, if you're watching this, you're probably a beginner. So Shadowmeld, don't even think about anything else. Like I said, ambush is very strong. Things that you don't one-shot, you will be able to one-shot. Everything that you have to two-shot, you will one-shot that if you use ambush, right? And again, when the combat ends, you go back to stealth, then this is huge. Number two is Elvin might deal 50% damage to the initial target. In some situations, especially the high-level PvP situations, your Huntress is going to work as the ranged DPS, and you know, stealth. Usually, everybody knows how to counter stealth, and it's just not going to help you. It doesn't mean it's a useless talent. It just means that sometimes Elvin might is good. So it's a number 2, 100%. And number 3 is Darnassian Steel. I have never seen it used because we rarely have huge groups of mobs, and even if we do, Huntress without this talent deals with them as good as the one with the talent. So there is no point to take it as a first or second choice. Harpies. Talent number 1. Trinket Collectors. Gain a minor trait, cost increased by 1 gold. Next talent, Talon Dive. Deal double damage on the first attack. Okay, take a look at the right side first. Smoke Bomb, Huntress, they attack Huntress, Huntress kills everybody and dies, because we were using the poison talent, that's why Huntress died after it killed Harpies. Now, take a look at the left side. As you can see, they kill Huntress because they do double damage, and their attacks are strong by default, and the double damage, that means just they literally one-shotted Huntress, and the third Harpy didn't even bother to come out of stealth. You're like, you guys good, you know? So that is the difference between other talents and this double damage on first attack talent. Next talent, Infectious Swipes. Gain poison. It does exactly what it says. It poisons units. Poison is the only thing in the game that stacks. And just in case, I'm going to give you a little math. I believe it's on level 1, it's 50 damage in 5 seconds, and it stacks. So in other words, when Harpies are attacking somebody, when they die, it keeps doing a little bit of damage, right? So what do we take? Number one is Infectious Swipes 100% because, like I said, on average it does way more damage than anything else. Number two is Talon Dive because in some situations, like I showed you, in some PvE situations, even in some PvP situations, when you need to defend something, you throw Harpies and they do a lot of damage in like 1 or 2 seconds. And number three is Trinket Collectors, just to get a level, because this talent is completely useless. I've seen it used a couple of times with Rend, because Rend reduces the gold cost of flying units. But again, like they cost 4 gold. It's just not worth it. There are plenty of other ways to get gold in this game. This is number 3. The Whelp eggs. Talent number 1, Flame Burst. Damage nearby enemies when hatching. That's exactly what it says. When you put them like this, the one who attacks the eggs dies right away. So if you put them correctly, you can destroy a lot of units before your whelps even start attacking. Talent number 2, Rookery. When one egg hatches, the others hatch immediately. That means that when somebody attacks one egg, yeah, all 3 pop up, and that is all I can say about it. Next talent, Chromatic Plating. Eggs gain taunt. Here is what it looks like. When you deploy these eggs, they have taunt, obviously, and each egg has a separate taunt. The cooldown of this taunt, you can kind of see the animation, these red waves that come out. So, yeah, that's how it works. You have pretty much 3 units with 3 different taunts that trigger periodically. So what do we take? Number 1 is Flame Burst. Like, this talent is much, much, much better than the other 2 combined. You're gonna use this talent in pretty much literally every single encounter in PvE campaign, in a lot of encounters in PvP. With most of modifiers in PvP, it will be your S tier talent and S tier unit. Number 2 is honestly, number 2 and number 3 are, you can take whatever the hell you want. This Rookery talent is total garbage. The one that pops where all the eggs pop up when you hit 1. Back in the day was the best talent in the beta because when you pick this talent, instead of 3 eggs, you would get 4. And that would make a difference. Now it's just bad. It's just super bad. Just like this Chromatic Plating, you can take, like I said, whatever you want as long as you take Flame Burst as first talent. The rest doesn't matter. Both of these talents are crap. You just need them to get extra levels. Gryphon Raider, Mighty Throw, gain +3 range. What you're looking at is Gryphon Raider attacking Devil's Orc-Win without being attacked. Just this one picture is already worth taking this talent. Basically, what this talent does, it allows you to attack things before these things even get to you. It allows you to kill the Rend's Drake before the Rend starts attacking you. It's really, really good. Amazing talent. Visually, it doesn't look super impressive because it doesn't blow up the whole screen, but it has a lot of value, and one of the main values you're looking at it, Devil's Orc-Win, it's like one of the top, I would put it in top 3, the hardest bosses in the entire heroic campaign. Next talent is Airdrop. Periodically drop a potion, leveling up the first ally to touch it. So what happens is, when you drop a Gryphon Raider, it throws this yellow bottle, and after it drops the first one, every 15 seconds it drops another one. Well, my first thought was, I'm gonna stack a lot of them. I'm gonna spawn a lot of them on the ground, then I'm just gonna throw Gargoyle, it will take all these bottles, and it will one-shot the enemy's core, right? Sure. What happens is, the bottle is laying on the ground for 45 seconds. which means you can't physically have, it's impossible to have more than 3 bottles on the ground at the same time. But most of the time you will be able to spawn 2 and pick up 2. So it's like plus 2 levels to a unit. You can combine it really good with Emperor Tharisan and his plus 2 level talent. So your unit will have like plus 2 from Tharisan, plus 2 from these bottles. It has some use, but just so you know, 15-second cooldown between dropping bottles, 45 seconds on the ground, and then it disappears. That's the thing that you need to know. Next talent, Odyn's Fury, Game Fury. Left side is Fury, right side is nothing. So what is Fury? For those who don't know, every time your unit attacks, the unit's attack speed is increased by 25%, stacks up to 3 times. In other words, your left Gryphon Raider right now is having plus 75% attack speed. Obviously, I believe it refreshes when you change the target, but it's not like, it only works on this target, I believe, something like that. So yeah, that's the difference. So what do we take? Number 1 is Mighty Throw, 100%. It's used everywhere. The high, top alpha males of PvP use this unit and this talent. So don't even think, don't ask me any questions. I mean, you can ask me, I'm just kidding. But this is your number 1 choice. Number 2 choice is Airdrop, and here is why. Well, number 1, there are very good strategies that work, that are based on increasing level of the unit. And this unit, it's the Gryphon Raider is a very cheap unit with this talent. It's really good. And number 3 is Odyn's Fury, because if you take your Gryphon Raider for like to do DPS, you have to choose between Mighty Throw and Fury, and you take Mighty Throw all the time. That's why this Odyn's Fury talent is kind of good if you take all the talents and all the units in the game. But in the case of Gryphon Raider, you would rather take Mighty Throw. That's why Mighty Throw is your first choice, Airdrop is your second choice, and Odyn's Fury is your third choice. These are today's 5 units. More stuff is coming. That's all.